Hey guys, it's MJ with Crow Tarot. First of all, thank you so much for joining me this Monday morning. It's Monday, February 25th. Let me just check. Hang on. Yep, Monday, February 25th. And this is the general reading for the collective. It's a 3-card general reading. And, I had a call for transcripts or more detailed summaries to go on the readings, and I tried to do a transcript, and unfortunately that did not work out as well as I had hoped. So I will make sure with this reading there will be a more detailed summary. It's not going to be as detailed as my other summaries. I'm trying to get away. Those were taking me hours in the morning to write because I tend to write, rewrite, second guess myself, go back, write again, and doing the readings for the collective was taking me almost a good chunk of my morning. And with having, I'm shipping out a lot of decks, which is, I'm so grateful. Oh my God, you guys, it's like crazy. Thank you. So I'm shipping out decks, and then I'm also trying to get this guidebook finished, and it's like, and the Wise Dog deck. So I have a lot of projects going on, and and for the record, I really love doing these video readings. I feel like it's making me see the cards differently, because I can't just go back and be like, oh, let me look at that and spend 30 minutes analyzing the card. So it's testing me, and it's helping me build my strength. So it's kind of, for me, this is an exercise, and I'm glad to have you on this with me, like on this experience with me. So thank you so much. So here, I just want to make sure the cards are good and shuffled. And the first card I draw is the foundation. And so when I do my readings, I'm looking for a story. I look for these cards to tell me a story. And the first card is what's at the heart. Like who are you at the heart, or what's the situation at the heart of the matter? And for us here, we're going to start us off with the Four of Pentacles. And so that's going to lay down the foundation for the current situation. And now, the current situation, I draw this from the center of the deck. And I saw this card popped up, so I'm going to oh, the Empress. Nice. And the final card is the advice, or an idea, or an energy that may benefit you, or this is like the energy that the cards want you to be aware of. It may come as a warning. It may come as a nugget of, information that may have been overlooked. And that I pull from the top. That, it's like information that will benefit you today. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? So the first card we have is the Four of Pentacles, and this is an energy of holding your resources tight too. The crow accumulated off in the city. It found these 4 pentacles, and then it flew off to a park far away where it's going to keep them where no one can get them, and they're his alone. And in doing so, he's stuck here, and he can't go back to the city because he's afraid if he leaves these pentacles, somebody may come and get them. Or he's stuck in this location, unable to move, because of these of the coins. And with the Four of Pentacles setting us up here, this indicates that your position, you're holding it very tight to your heart. You're holding it, you're afraid that something or someone's going to take it away from you. And because of that, this may be, you've experienced, a financial gain, and this is a wonderful, event for you. But at the same time, it's restricting you, because now you're afraid, like, well, what if I go back to not having this, the financial resources? Or, this is like an energy of lack and scarcity. So, and this may also be just feelings that are kind of that are seeds for you that were planted maybe from a childhood where you felt some setbacks, or you might maybe your family experienced um, a period where they felt like their resources weren't going to come in as easily, or and actually it may just be that that's how you approach life. So there are people who live with a poverty mindset even though they have resources all around them. I know somebody who grew up, and I kid you not, she grew up with a family that was very well to do, and her father was a doctor. Yet when she talked about her childhood, she always referred to it as like a time in their lives when she refers to it as a not having everything and feeling lack. And she when she would tell me that she grew up poor, I would laugh because I was like, as somebody who actually grew up with a family that was firmly lower middle class, I always kind of laughed at that because I always grew up feeling very rich. And so here it's all about mindset. So in what you expect and how you perceive a life of value. So, or what you perceive as being, a rich life versus a poor life. And so if here setting you up is this feeling of lack or scarcity, and this is serving as a foundation. So perhaps in the past, or what you're holding on to is this idea that if I have something, I better hold on to it because it may go away. And if it goes away, then I'm going to have nothing, which is very limiting, right? I mean, that kind of limits how far you can grow because you're stuck holding on to this idea. And the problem we encounter with this is that when we hold on to this one idea, it's a very fixed idea of what success is, we're unable to embrace other versions of success because we already have this idea in our head of this is what it means. So here, the Four of Pentacles setting us up is a restrictive energy, and is something that's going to need to be resolved. And it's what's going to hold you back here when we encounter the Empress. So here the Empress she's like the complete opposite, right? I mean, she's like all about abundance and bringing in life and letting energy flow, and there's a give and take, right? So here with the Four of Pentacles, there's no give and take, it's just hold, right? But here with the Empress, she is all about like spreading love and receiving love and giving resources and taking resources and living in this lovely flow where anything and everything you can imagine is available, right? It's not restrictive at all. And here we have, it's hard to see in here, but you have to look at this card to find the little hidden stuff. So here is a wand that's hidden in the apple tree, indicating that it's her creativity and her ability to come up with new ideas and to spark innovation. And that's where you're going to find fruit, and that's where you're going to find an abundance of resources. And there's a free flowing of water here, which is your intuition and letting the ideas flow. And there's a harmony with the Empress. I mean, she brings life to the world, and she's connected with nature. And so these are very opposing energies. You have somebody who is like, oh, I can't let go of my stuff, because if I let go of my stuff, then I'll have nothing. And then here's someone who's saying like, oh, I'm going to let go of my stuff. Yeah, damn straight I am, so that I can receive more, right? So if I let go, I'm allowing more things to come in. And so here there's some friction with this. So the call I see here with this Four of Pentacles and the Empress setting us up is that, it's like, yes, acknowledge that there are things of value, but you have to be free enough you have to free yourself up to letting them go so that you can bring in more. Kind of like when you think about like investing, right? So you have your resources. If you keep all your money in a bank account, right? Or under your mattress or wherever you keep it, and you don't invest it, or you don't use it, you know, say, God, like those people who like literally like they die multimillionaires and they lived in like a tiny one-room house. You know what I mean? They never really got to appreciate or use the value of their resources. If you don't take vacation, right, and you're just hoarding your money because you're thinking like, well, for this rainy day, well, what happens if you get hit by a bus tomorrow? You wouldn't have had that experience of the joy or the opportunities that may come about as a result of using those resources. So the call here is to let go and see life from a place of abundance, not to be frivolous, but to see that there's a give and take, So I am a firm believer, and I swear, and I challenge you to do this. I swear by this. When I go to Goodwill, I will go through the house and I will find things that we're no longer using, or like my daughter, has outgrown, and I swear by this. Everything, for every piece of item I take to the Goodwill, I will get back $1 somehow in some capacity, whether it be through orders for my deck, or I find $5 on the street, or something I find like a buy one get one for something I was going to buy anyway. I kid you not, like if you let go of things flow in. And I'm not kidding. I challenge you. Find like 5 things at your house that you can take to Goodwill, and you'll get $5. You'll get something back in return that will be unexpected, and you'll feel good about it, and you'll feel good about donating too. So here we have this lovely Empress energy, and look what's following it, right? Look here, we have the 9 of Cups, which is like basically your wishes fulfilled. So here this crow stands. He's a little arrogant, he's got his posture going, and he's looking at the sun, which is again high up on the card, indicating that this is a long term. This isn't just immediate gratification. The sunflowers are rising up out of the ground, and they're blossoming, and it's just a lovely energy. This crow has everything it could ever hope for. It has all the resources. It has a pure heart. It has knowledge. It's full of food. This is a crow that has achieved so much. It has a right to be a bit smug here and there because it worked hard to achieve these things. These cups didn't fill on their own. He's not a crow that just happened to fall into a lucky situation. He was able to achieve all these things, or she was able to achieve all these things because she put in the energy and she let go of these ideas of lack or scarcity. So she wasn't operating from a place of, I've got to hold on to my resources, otherwise I may lose everything. She took on this idea that I am a creator, I'm a co-creator in my life. I am able to bring to life that which I wish to bring to life, and I've got to be able to free myself up to do that. And to do that, you had to let go of this rigid position. And here we have this lovely energy of flying forward, and rising above the clouds, seeing the world from a place of compassion and love. This is the only time in any of my cards that you'll ever find an actual heart, like a Valentine's heart, because it really is about that, just love, like that kind of love, playful love energy. And so here we have this like intuition with the cup, and she has the creativity going, and there's a free flow of energy moving through, and she's able to just create when she wants to create and give where she wants to give. She gives life. It's very fertile, and it's such a positive energy that the Empress brings. I mean, she's a life force. She's a giver of life. And I mean, that right there is strong feminine energy if ever there was. So you can't have the Empress and hang on tight, and clutch your possessions, right? So here the message is, when you let go, when you see the world from a place of abundance, and when you lose that fear of losing everything, or your attachment to things, and you see it yourself as somebody who's a creator, who is a co-creator with the universe, as somebody who can manifest, who can bring things together, who can channel that flow of energy that is needed to create a steady stream of resources that come in. You will not only find success, but you're going to find all of your wishes are fulfilled, and it's going to take a long-term view, because it's going to set you up for a period of life of abundance. And abundance comes in all different ways. We can see abundance, like there's not a lack of abundance on the planet. Like if you look outside your window, you'll see there are a ton of leaves, there's a ton of grass, there's a ton of, we're not lacking, right? So if you look for the opportunities, you'll find them, but you have to see them, and that's the key here. So with the Four of Pentacles, it can keep you from seeing the abundance. But if you take on the energy of the Empress is one that sees life where maybe there isn't. If you look outside and you see just concrete, you have the ability to see potential there, for maybe putting in flower boxes, or like you're able to bring to the world life with the Empress energy. And when you do that, when you take on that role as a creator, that's when you're going to set yourself up for receiving the wishes that your deepest desires. So I hope you enjoy the reading, and I hope you have a wonderful, this is a great way to start the week. Look, we're starting the week with you as a creator, okay? You have the power. So shed this idea of that you've received all you can receive, or that you're all you are in life, or that there's like this is it, because it's not it. This is just, if you have that mindset, it's going to keep you down. It's going to keep you restricted. So you are the Empress. You have that energy to be a creator, and when you do, you find your wishes. So anyway, peace for now. Bye. I'll talk to you tomorrow.